halfway done, and after this, the B-League will be soon to follow with the third event, bowling, making its B-League debut. Hello everybody, I'm the Emperor, and the B-League's been on a bit of a hiatus. 5 straight A-League events following the B-League's performance in balancing, so we may be a little bit rusty on what the standings are. Bowling pins will follow a similar format that we saw in the A-League. It is different from regular bowling, where a spare is just worth 2 times the second ball. True Blue holds the lead, 2 points clear of the oddballs, then the Lattes, Time Warpers, and Venomous Vipers all have broke 20 points and round out our top 5. So it's going to be the same format. It's going to be 8 rounds, 2 throws around. So it's a duo event. And we are going to have the lineup running from top left to bottom right here. So it is in qualification order. So the Stardusts were the first ones to just miss out on the qualifier. So they're going to kick us off here with a 3 to start. That's not too shabby. And 2 more, okay. Only 5 for the Stardusts. Could be a little bit better. Certainly could be worse. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm blind. 6 knocked down. So they're going to get 3 and 3. So here come the Aquatics now, and they will take down 3. And then also 3 more. So they're going to match the Stardust step for step through 2 runs. And Seafoam and Tide, the 2 representatives of the Aquatics in this event. Third bowl now, the Time Warpers get an interesting split to take 4 down to start. What do they... Oh, okay. Well, they jumped out of line and took... It would have been a gutter ball in actual bowling. Black Hole could not find the hole in between the pins right there, and Pulsar puts up the only 4 points on the board for the Time Warpers. Not good for the team sitting in 4th place. Here come the Citron Sprinters. They're going to knock down a total of 5. Looks like a 3 and a 2. Here comes the Lime. Got 2 down. That's, again, an interesting split. You got 3 on the left, 3 on the right. There's only so much you can do. And Lime tried to split it, but they could not get it done. And the Blueberry Buttons now had a lot of collateral damage, but couldn't get anything knocked over. And off the bat, I know there's time for it to pick up, but the B-League looking a little bit lackluster. Perhaps, obviously not living up to the competitive standards of the A-League of, well, these teams failed to qualify, so that makes sense. But also just not living up to it in this event. Maybe the rust. They haven't competed since balancing. A little bit rusty heading into this one. Look at the wobbles that Zippy gave that one. And oh, I neglected to mention Dodgy missed them all completely. And the 2 new members of the Dodgers, their audition, well, falling a little bit flat, unlike the pins on the board. And the Lattes only going to get a few more down, but it will be more than 2. Nobody's knocked down more than 6 yet. We're on, I believe, our 7th run? And the highest score is 6. And Tonacino and Espresso can only team up for 5. Spares were hard to come by already in the A-League, and this showing in the B-League is not giving them much opportunity for more. There are only going to be 5 more again from the Evergreen Warriors. We could be in for a long one here, folks. Evergreen and Pine, a 3 and a 2 for a total of 5. That could be better. Could be worse. Dodgers got 2. Could be better. Halfway home in round 1 of 8. And remember, the bottom 4 teams of each set of rounds get eliminated. So nobody's knocked out after this one, but 2 bad performances in a row could do you in. And look at this. Cobra and Python will set the top mark with 8, 5, and 3. The Venomous Vipers in a good position early. Stingers come down. They knock down 5. There was Bumble and Flutter takes down 2 more, it looks like, for a total of 7. So immediately after I say no one's broken the 6 mark, 2 teams in a row come down with an 8 and a 7. Next run now, the Flamethrowers. Of course, the Flamethrowers, this is their first time not in the A-League. They participated in bowling back in Season 4. Oh, and they can't get anything done on the second bowl. That's going to be a 4 for the Flamethrowers, and that is not what they wanted to cook. And given their history of fire, I would say they burned it. And oh man, a lot of motion, but not a lot of action. And it looks like the Red Roulettes only get 4. The second bowl just couldn't get much done. 2 and 2. Maruby and Maroon. Not a lot of pins getting floored on this one. The Leaping Lemons now run 13 of 16. And oh, another gutter ball. That is wide right. Well, maybe got a little bit of inspiration from the Buffalo Bills there. Lemonade and lemon juice, just 3 for a team well down the order. And that run could have used a little bit more orderly fashion. Gliding Goo Balls will take down 5 on their initial throw. They can hit that pattern on the right, and they do, and they're just left with the split, and that's not a bad showing. Another 8 for the Gliding Goo Balls. Slime and Sludge mucking their way around down there to tie themselves for the lead. With just 2 runs to go here in round number 1, it's the Oddballs. And they're going to take down 7, and the pin comes careening into the back 3, but can't get it done. The Oddballs will settle 4-7. Inferno and Wave. Wave, the newest member of the team. Obviously, the Oddballs, rather famous for their non-symmetrical uniforms. As our final runner, True Blue, championship-leading True Blue, will take 5, and just half the points on the board, not counting spares, will be accounted for. Navy and Denim, also 2 new members, like the Dodgers. Got a couple roster members opting into the season. And that'll do it for round number 1. Everyone between 8 and 2. The Dodgers are going to need likely a spare to get out of this hole that they've dug themselves into. Let's get ready for round number 2. There will be eliminations after this one. So the Stardust come down first. They take down 3. Kind of just a hole in the middle there, and that was not the strategy. They can only pin 1 down, and that's 4 total for the Stardusts. For an overall total, I believe, of 10. Yeah, Space Dust 3, Starshine 1. The Aquatics come down next. Then they've got that 1 pinned in the corner. If they can get a little bit of pressure, they can probably knock it down. And they do! What a throw! The Aquatics leave just 1 standing. And that's the best bowl of the B-League thus far. They take 9. And that will comfortably keep them, most likely, out of elimination. 15 for Seafoam and Tide. Imagine if Tide had gotten just the 1 more down. That would have been a spare of 16. Even more than their total score right now. Time Warper's up next. Oh, wobble, back and forth, but 7 is all they will get. Black Hole, at least, finding a pin to knock down this time. That's 1 more than they did last round. That'll put them at 11. Bowl 4 of round 2 here. The Citron Sprinters come on down. They're going to leave half the pins on the board. It's not what you want to do. You want to knock as many down as possible, obviously. That's in the name of the game. They'll come through with 10. Now, tie-breaking procedures. The lowest high score wins or loses the tiebreaker. So the lowest frame does. So if you have 2 teams coming down with frames of, let's say, it's just tied at 10. If a team had a 6 and a 4 as their 2 frames, and the other one had a 5 and a 5, the lowest frame, the team that had the 4, loses the tiebreaker. And the lowest, if it goes to a second tiebreaker, the lowest high number per frame loses. So if teams are tied on the board with, frames, let's say it was 5-5-5 and then 5-5-5, so everyone bowls the same. But one of those fives had a 5 and a 0, and the other team just had 3s and 2s the whole time, that team would lose because they had the lowest high bowl. And I promise you it does not go to a third tiebreaker, because that would have driven us even more crazy. And after that brief narration, we take a look back at the field. The lattes come through, and they're going to end up sitting at 10 as well. So look at that, 3-2. And the lattes, that'll put them at 10. And similarly to what we saw with the Citron Sprinters, except for the fact that the lattes had a 4-1 in their prior one, and the Citron Sprinters had 3-2. So that would put the lattes ahead on the tiebreaker. The Evergreen Warriors come through also with 10, and also with a 4 and a 1 and a 3-2 last time. So the Evergreen Warriors are exactly tied with the lattes thus far. A lot more tightly packed scores than we saw in the A-League. I guess that's part of the lack of variation from no spares so far, but there's always time for teams to pick up the slack. The Aquatics came the closest with the 9. The Venomous Vipers, 3-2, will put them at 13 and in the second place, I believe. Here come the Stingers, and they wipe out half the board, and that's a solid 5 on the right if they can get to them. Oh, and they're so close to a spare, but they're going to fall just short. And that will put them 9 flirting with the spare, but that's going to sting a little bit to come 1 pin short, but 16 overall. Can't complain about being in first. If you get the job done, no matter how you get there. They say a win's a win, so the Stingers in good position right now. 16-0, and the Flamethrowers, less good position. They only had 4 coming into this one, and by my count, they only knocked down 5 here, so that should put them in the single digits at 9, and the Flame, I don't think, scored a single point this entire event. And pending some drastic intervention from a few other teams collapsing, we could be in for an elimination for the Flamethrowers here. Red Roulette's also having some trouble. Ruby and Maroon, they're going to get 6. That'll put them at 10, and that 6 means, well, the other frame was a 4, which would put them below in the tiebreaker. So, a little bit of danger for the Red Roulettes, and they're rooting against every other team. I mean, that's the name of the sport. Said a few Captain Obvious statements here in this event, but what are you going to do? The Leaping Lemons come through next, also with 10, and they have a 7, meaning that their lowest frame is a 3. So that puts them below the Red Roulettes, and they breathe a sigh of relief right there. As the Gliding Glue Balls come on in with 4, and the potential to get more. Look at those back row teetering on the edge of the catch basin, but not falling down. The Gliding Glue Balls bend, but don't break the pins to knock down 5 more and put them at 13. So it looks like the threshold for the cutoff is around 10 right now as the oddballs come through with Inferno. They knock down half the field. Wave takes down 3, almost 4 more. That'll be an 8 for the oddballs. And that's 15 overall. The oddballs up in the order are not going to be eliminated. And here comes True Blue, our championship leaders. Can they knock down a few? They knocked down 6. That's a pretty solid showing. Of course, not as solid as their balancing near perfection, but 11, Navy and Denim, look to stave off elimination, and who's it gonna be? The Stardusts, the Leaping Lemons, the Flamethrowers, and the Dodgers. 10-10-9-7 will be the elimination cutoff. The Dodgers, of course, that 2 in the first round really killed them. They could only muster 5 in the second, and they'll take dead last. And we will move on now to round number 3. 12 remaining competitors. The Aquatics, the first ones to go. Sitting on a comfortable 16, I believe. They'll take 6 more to put them on, I don't know about you, but they're feeling 22. Now, never mind. I've been lied to, bamboozled, flabbergasted, hornswoggled, gobsmacked. I'll make that joke eventually correctly. Here come the Time Warpers now. Following the Aquatics, 21 points. And Time Warpers were a little bit below that. This 5 will put them at 16. That's what I thought the Aquatics were at. But no, apparently it was only 15. Here come the Citron Sprinters now in run number 3. And that's going to be 7. Grapefruit and Lime teaming up for a tandem duo. 4 and 3 it looks like. They've been a pretty balanced. That's the thing. There's been a lot of balance in the showings thus far in the B League compared to the A League, where we saw a lot more splits, a lot more high leverage throws, a few more gutter balls as well. The Blueberry Buttons will take down 4. And then 1 more. That's it. I thought they got some more chaos. Look at that. Stuck in the wedge of 3 of the pins there to not even make it to the catch basin. Boysenberry, the new reserve, unable to get much going in this one. Just 1, and they could have got a couple more there if that one had toppled. The Lattes, I believe, up now. Clear out the left and the right. And that is a solid showing. Lattes getting it done. Of course, our defending B-League champions, the Lattes, Antonicino and Espresso, 17, still behind the Aquatics. That's a good throw. Evergreen Warriors, I believe, and they're going to get 7. Warriors they had a shot at qualifying for the first time this season. Couldn't get it done, but we're sitting in the B-League with 17 right now in bowling. Funnel Tournament staples as well. The Evergreen Warriors. And now a similarly green team. The Venomous Vipers. Oh, that's a bad one. That is not going to be good for the Venomous Vipers, who had a good showing up until this point. Just 3 points from Cobra and Python. It'll net them at 16 overall, so they're not falling behind, but it could be a lot better. The Stingers up now, and they're going to take down 7 more, and they were positioned well to start this round. And they might have hit a jackpot here. Let's see what this puts them at. 7 more points on the board, 23. Bumble and Flutter having a pretty good showing. First place provisionally over the Aquatics. Here come the Red Roulettes. What a bowl. 7 to start with some traffic on the field. Can they knock them all down? No, they can't get any of them. Okay. That was a potential spare on the board, and the Red Roulettes can't clear anybody else off. But 7 is not a bad showing. Ruby puts it on the board. And that is what they like to see. Gliding Goo Balls up now. We're making our way to the end of round number 3. And they are going to get 6. It's not bad. Probably around the average score for this league so far. A little bit lower. No spares yet. 10 of 12, 19 overall for Slime and Sludge. So here comes the Oddballs, and they're going to take down 3, I believe. 1 more. Make it 4. That's it. Not a great run. Wave can't knock much. And Inferno didn't really mess up the formation, so Wave had a pretty clear shot to try and cause some havoc. But they were already at 15, so 19 overall isn't too bad for the Odd Boys. And our final run, True Blue will take down 4. And Navy and Denim takes 2 more. And they are truly staying pretty balanced in this one. True Blue gets it done with 17, possibly on the cusp. Now that we're through round 3, remember, no eliminations yet, but once True Blue's next run has gone, we will start to see some more eliminations, as True Blue is bringing up the rear here in the run order, which has remained constant throughout this event. So we get to round number 4. Here come the aquatics sitting on 21. They take down 3. Can they knock down a few more? Yeah, that's 3 more. That's a few, by definition. Solid 6. Put them at 27. Seafoam and Tide. Ready for our next competitors, the Time Warpers, shooting through like an asteroid up the middle. And can only get one more at his black hole. A singularity, if you will. And they certainly would have liked to have some more gravitational pull on that one to knock down a few more pins. And they are sitting behind the aquatics. Through 2, Citron Sprinters now take down half the field. Does Grapefruit Lime comes down and glances off the front. And they swing and say foul tip. But that would have still been a live bowl. And 5-0, 22. Yeah, there we go. I missed the opportunity for the joke this time, though, so don't let that pass me by again. 6 knocked down for the Blueberry Buttons. And that'll put them at 24. Boysenberry in their first ever event as a member of the Blueberry Buttons, looking to get a few points on the board. And there's 3 knocked down for the Lattes. And just 2 more, just a 5, which started out promising for the Lattes, is starting to come up a little empty. And there we go. I don't know about you, but the Lattes are feeling 22, and that seems to be the danger zone right now. So here come the Evergreen Warriors with 5 off the board. 1 rolling back and forth, not going to cause any issues. Unfortunately for the Evergreen Warriors, they would have maybe liked a little bit of issues on there to knock down an extra pin or so, but they're going to sit at 25. Clear of the chaos, it would appear, are Evergreen and Pine. Venomous Vipers, only 2. What can Cobra do here? Okay, they get 3 more to put them at 5, but what started out strong, the Venomous Vipers are fizzling out a little bit. And they're going to only at 21, and I think that's the lowest score we've seen thus far, tying them with the Time Warpers. And they are in a little bit of danger. And the Stingers are obviously already ahead of them, so they don't have to worry about that. And they're going to get 6 more on the board. And I think that might shoot them into 30 or 29. Math seems to be off by 1 today. 29. Bumble and Flutter, which is still the provisional lead. And the Stingers sitting pretty so far. The Red Roulettes come on through, barreling into, it looks like 3. They take 2 more, just a 5. Nobody was, the exceptional runs in the B League have been those 8s, a couple 9s. Red Roulette's sitting at 22, they're in danger. But we have not seen a spare yet, and we're almost halfway through the rounds, but well over halfway through the bowls, because it's getting proportionally lower every round. Gliding Gurballs will take 6. And we'll see if that can get them through. I think it will. They had a few stellar performances in the opening rounds. That'll put them at 25. Yes, they are clear. Slime and Sludge moving on to at least round 5 and 6. Here come the Oddballs. 6 down, 4 to go. And they take the wide right one, not the 3 cluster in the middle. Maybe a tactical blunder from the Oddballs there. But they are sitting at 26, so they are through. It's not a matter of how much you win by, just that you win. So, the Oddballs know there's still time to make up just a couple points that they need on, I believe, the Stingers. True Blue will take 7, and that should be enough to get them through. Yes, 24, they're going to be clear. Again, I think 22, maybe 23 was that cutoff limit. So we'll see which teams are eliminated. It's the Lattes, the Red Roulettes, the Time Warpers, and the Venomous Vipers, who started out so strong with that 8, did not have an individual marble bowl higher than a 3 after that. 6 down for the Aquatics as we head to round number 5. They start to speed up a little bit here. We get to the tail end of the event. half our field's still on. 33 is where the aquatics stand after 5. And no eliminations again. Every even round is when the eliminations happen. You don't want to be the odd one out. Citron Sprinters. Oh, they could have got one more right there. They're going to drop a 7 burger here. 29, so a little bit behind where the aquatics benchmark is. You're wondering, are we going to have to see those spares? Maybe even a strike. But we didn't see any in the A-League, so I don't know how likely the chances are we see a strike in the B-League. But are we going to have to see one of those to make a mammoth effort to overtake, like what the Silver Dollars did in the A-League? Blueberry Buttons at 28. BB carrying a little bit of weight. Boysenberry not so much. Here come the Evergreen Warriors. They take down 3. It's a little hard to count sometimes. Yeah, 3 and 2. And that's 5. Evergreen and Pine. 30 on the nose. I wonder how much a nose is shaped like an evergreen tree. I haven't before now, so I think I've been talking a little bit too long in this one. Stingers coming down now, provisionally in the lead. Does not look like a fantastic bowl. Yeah, it's only 4. That puts him at 33, tied with the Aquatics. And we have a fight for the lead. Gliding Goo Balls take down 3. And then a few more to put him at 6. And they're just consistently chipping away. Slime and sludge like a wave or a puddle of goo or something just progressing down the course in a green fashion to put them at 31. Here come the oddballs. 2 runners to go here. These rounds going a lot quicker now that there's only 8 of them. Oh, that one is not down. They almost had 1 or 2, and Wave doesn't have the strength to knock it over. Just 1 is what they will take. Oh, I guess they did count it. Yeah, look at that. They are going to count it. That is technically knocked over, I guess. Interesting decision by the stewards. But they don't make mistakes because they write the rules. So I guess that's what they're going to rule it as. It's the first time we've seen that situation in the B-League here. And True Blue comes in with 30. And that's the end of round 5. So cutoff mark to beat, we don't know yet, but I would estimate probably around like a 35-ish. Given all those teams, maybe 36. Depending on where the field stands. The Aquatics and Stingers seem to be the 2 up top right now. Already at 33 going into this. They're going to have 5 more to put them at 38. And pending a lot of huge points grabs from some teams, the Aquatics should be comfortably through into the finals. Oh, the Citron Sprinters swing and a miss at that one, and they are only going to knock down 3. Lime leaves them hanging 32. That's not good, and pretty much everything in between there probably will advance you. The Citron Sprinters in a lot of bit of danger here for a team that could really use a solid haul of points. Blueberry Buttons, meanwhile, they take down a few, and a few amounts to 6 to put them at 34, and that's what I forecasted as the danger zone. We'll have to see how accurate my foresight is in just about 5 bowls, but I almost got another gutter ball from the Evergreen Warriors, so they actually did pitch one off on the right side, nibbling away at the corner of the mat there. And they're going to put them at 35. So top 2 right now are the Aquatics and Evergreen Warriors at 38 and 35. So Citron Sprinters 32 is on the bubble right now. Here come the Stingers, who were already at 33, so we can guarantee that the Citron Sprinters will be going no further in this event, as the Stingers, I believe, ended with 7, which would put them at 40. And it will. Bumble and Flutter take the lead from the Aquatics by 2. And 2, not insurmountable. Those are 3 rounds to go. As the Gliding Goo Balls now, mark to beat 34 from... Who is at 34? Goo balls come down. Believe it was the blueberry buttons with 34. 35 is the gliding goo balls mark. So now them and the Evergreen Warriors, I believe, are tied at 35 for the cutoff. 9 down! That's a huge showing from the oddballs. Absolutely clutching up, and I think that should put them through. 40, it does. They pass the Aquatics. They're tied for the lead with the Stingers. The oddballs are through. And that will mean True Blue is the final spot. Will they be able to get it through between the Evergreen Warriors and the Gliding Goo balls? That doesn't look good. I don't think True Blue's got it. And that could be a huge blow to a team up there in the order. Just 4:34, they're gone. True Blue cannot advance to the Final Four in bowling, and their fans are a little stunned. And it's the Goo balls who miss out on the tiebreaker to the Evergreen Warriors at the 35-point threshold. And now it's 2 rounds to go, and the Aquatics, sitting at 38 in third place, will take down 6 pins. You can tell these scores are a lot lower than where we were in the A-League. 44 after 7 for the Aquatics is the mark to beat. And we already have 2 teams at 40. And I believe the Evergreen Warriors sit comfortably back at 35. And they're going to take down, what do we got? 6 here to put them at 41, I believe. Math is hard sometimes, so it's a little bit. There we go, I got it right. And I'll be not feeling 22 on this one, but 41, a little bit higher up. The Evergreen Warriors will probably end up in last as the Stingers pass them with a 4 right here. At the end of this one, Stingers actually put up an 8, and 48 will take the lead. The Stingers getting it done, trying to assert that they will get a medal here in bowling. And that is a solid points for Bumble and Flutter. And our final runner in round number 7, the oddballs take down 3. They would need 6 here to take the lead, and they go. Gosh, that was not what Wave wanted to do. They swung way wide and just wobbled off to the side. And 44, the oddballs, they had the chance to go up with the Stingers, and it's still possible. We haven't seen a spare, and if there's any time to do it, it's now in the final round, round 8. With 4 runners to go, the mark to beat 48 laid down by the Stingers. The Aquatics take down 6 to start. A huge throw here. A spare would do wonders, but they just get 1. The Aquatics are not. Well, they're going to take the lead for now, but will the Stingers drop a dud? 51. That's a good total. Might put them clear of the Evergreen Warriors. Maybe the oddballs. We'll have to see. The Stingers, I think the only team that's thrown less than 3 in this event was the Dodgers with their 2 in the opening round. As the Evergreen Warriors will not get anything close to a spare, and will end with a final total of 47. That's very respectable, and they're guaranteed at least 12 points. And let's see what the Stingers can do. There's 4. That's the lead, I do believe. And this is for insurance. They get 2 more. The Stingers take down the Aquatics. And with just 1 runner to go, they have guaranteed themselves a medal, no less than silver, with 54 points. An outstanding showing from the Stingers. The oddballs, the only thing that can dethrone them. They try to set up the long spare. It's 6 on the board, and they just get 2. It's not going to happen. The Stingers are buzzing around to the top step of the podium. They will win gold over, let's see who got second, over the Aquatics 51. The oddballs will take their 3rd medal in the first 3 events. And that is a huge shifting of the tide, although that might be more fitting for the Aquatics, from last season, where they finished dead last in the B-League after a horrible showing. They are really flipping the script here with their 3rd medal. The Aquatics up there as well with their 2nd, and the Stingers, Bumble and Flutter, take home the gold. And the oddballs have the lead. I figured they would with 3 events. True Blue is dethroned. 4 points behind the oddballs, the lattes, then the aquatic stingers, time warpers, Venice vipers, and evergreen warriors rounding out the top half. Down below, a couple mainstays in the danger zone, 13th and below, and that is a desperate time for them. We'll see you next time, everybody, at the Sea League.